Hey there, this is Cheney from Mix and Match Design Company, and I'm here to give you a quick tutorial introduction to one of my favorite online tools called Homestyler. So this is a free software platform that allows you to convert your hand-drawn floor plans into digital floor plans and then create a space plan out of that. So the difference between a floor plan and a space plan in my mind is that the floor plan is just a drawing of the walls and windows and the measurements of those things, but a space plan includes the furniture and decor that you want to use for the room. So it's important to do that ahead of starting a decorating or a design project because you want to know exactly what you'll be looking for and what size and scale the pieces should be. So I'm going to show you how to do that in this program called Homestyler, and I want you guys to get to the home screen and click New Design, and then you'll be on the same screen that you can see right here with what I've got. So the first thing you're going to want to do is have your hand-drawn floor plan ready. So you're going to go measure your room, take all the wall measurements, the window measurements, grab the ceiling height, and note things like doorways or entrances into the room and how wide those are. So that's going to be your basis for creating your space plan, and then you'll start drawing it. So bring it over to wherever you're sitting next to your computer, and we'll pretend to be making a bedroom design today. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that using the software that is not super intimidating, but there is a little bit of a learning curve to it. So when you hop in, this is what the home screen is going to look like. And if you're not here, you can just click File, New, and it should bring you to a new design page. So this is basically just a piece of graph paper, and that's where you're going to draw your floor plan. And what I like to do is start over here with the Create Room tab, and you're going to see this section called Draw Walls. And I like to start by drawing the room, just all the walls, and put them all into place, and then we'll add things like the windows and the doors. So I'm going to click this button here called By Edge. That's one of my favorite ones to use, but you can also do the Draw Room or By Center if you prefer. So I'm going to grab this over here and I'm just going to start drawing my walls. So you click, you drag, and I'm going to make a bedroom that's, kind of a reasonable size. And we'll just make it a square room to keep things simple. So as you're drawing, you're going to see different guides pop up that help you keep straight lines and then connect the room at the very end. So once you're here, you can click all the way in the corner and it's going to create your entire room. And when you're done drawing, you're going to want to hit the Escape key on your keyboard. So that's going to get rid of that little cursor, otherwise it'll keep drawing room segments and you don't really want that. So if you click Escape, you'll get your normal cursor back and then you can start working on the room more. And if you come back over to this panel, you're going to see some options like doors and single doors, double doors, windows, door openings, all kinds of good stuff. So let's create the entrance to this room by using a single door. So I'm going to click on that and it'll pop up over here. And let's place this one, let's say it's just kind of right in the middle of this wall. So as you can see, as I'm moving, it'll kind of give you a guide as to where you're placing it in the room. And if you want to change the swing of the door here so that it opens in or opens on the other side, all you have to do is do this flip button right here. And if you keep clicking, you'll get different options. I'm going to pretend that the door opens this way. And then I'm going to go and grab a couple of windows to put in there too. So we'll do a window over here. And I'm going to make that window actually 3 feet wide. So you can either use your up or down arrows on your keyboard like I'm doing there, or you can type in the measurement itself. Now until you put a unit of measurement on there, so inches or feet, it won't actually work. So that's why it has a red box around it right there. So if I make it 3 feet, turns blue, hit return on your keyboard, and you'll get a 3-foot wide window. And if you want to duplicate this window, let's say there's another 3-foot window over here on this part of the wall, all you have to do is select the window and then hit Command C or Control C if you're on a PC, and then Command V or Control V and place it wherever you'd like to create an exact copy of that. So we'll get a couple windows there, we'll get our door, and you can always click and move your door over if you accidentally put it in the wrong place or something like that. You can just change it around super easily. All right, so let's go ahead and grab some of the furniture now that we have a couple of windows in there and a door. We'll just pretend like this is a very simple design for a bedroom. And the place where you're going to find furniture is over here in the model library. And you can grab different pieces by going to the catalog here. If you hover over this, you're going to find lots of different options. So you can either go through and look at the different options in here or scroll down for different places in the house. Or if you click catalog, you'll find a search bar. Whoops. A search bar right up here, and you can type in what you're looking for. Now, I will say that Homestyler is not the greatest index for finding different things, so I actually prefer just to look through the different categories that they have and find something that looks similar to what I want to use in my room. These are all 3D models of different pieces of furniture, so you're probably not going to find the exact thing you're looking for in the same colors or style, but the key is to get the dimensions right for this particular exercise. So you're going to find pieces that look similar in terms of, scale and function. So if you're looking for a dresser that's tall, maybe you'll grab this one and change the dimensions to match what you need. Or you can try to be more specific, but that's pretty time consuming in Homestyler. So my goal is always to just get something that's close and work with it from there. All right, so since we're looking at a bedroom, I'm going to come back over to the catalog and hover over that, and then come down to the bedroom section. Let's start with a bed. It's a pretty easy one. And so you can scroll down until you find something that looks about like what you'd want to have. So this is a pretty simple bed. Seems pretty good for what we're looking for. And I'm going to put it right here, kind of in front of the window wall. And if you want to change the dimensions, let's say you know exactly the size of your headboard or your frame, you can come over here to this panel and you're going to want to hit the unlock button and then change the dimensions here to suit the one that you're looking for. So let's say this is a queen bed, and I know that a queen bed is about 60 inches wide by 80 inches long. All right, so we've got a queen bed in there now, and we're going to want to add some nightstands. So let's go ahead and find some that are going to be about what we're looking for. So I'm going to come back over to the catalog, scroll down, night tables, and this one looks good. So I'll just grab this, and you can see that it's actually, I don't know if you can tell from above, but it's actually turned the wrong way. So you can always rotate an item here to make sure it's the right, facing the right direction. And then you can either move it over with your mouse, or you can bump it over with your arrow keys on your keyboard to be a little bit more precise. And I'm going to duplicate this one. It looks like about the right size, so I'm not going to worry about the dimensions over here. So I'm just going to copy and paste this, just using my keyboard controls, and line it up there. Now we've got a couple of nightstands, looking good. And let's put a rug under this bed. That's another good thing to do. So I'm going to come over here, and you can sometimes find things in unexpected places, but if you just kind of use a logical frame of mind, you can find what you need. So over here we've got wall-to-wall carpets, we've got area rugs, and I want to do an area rug under this bed. So I'm just going to pick one that looks good. And again, the color and things like that don't really matter here. This is about getting the size and the scale of everything correct. So I'm going to pick that as my rug, and you can see that it looks like a pretty good size under a queen bed. And so I'm going to take a look and see what size it defaulted to. So 6'8" by 9'5". It's kind of a funny proportion for a rug. I don't see a lot of rugs in those dimensions. So I'm going to unlock this, and I'm going to make it an 8 by 10 since that's a pretty standard size to go under a queen bed. So 8 feet by 10 feet. All right, that looks pretty good. I'm just going to click and scoot it over just a little bit, put it in the right spot. So we've got a nice rug under this bed now, and let's put some table lamps right here on these bedside tables. So I'm going to come back over to the catalog, And let's see, scroll down. There's actually a category called lighting. So I'm going to grab table lamps, and I usually try to find something that's at least kind of similar to what I would want to put in the room. But again, it doesn't have to be exact, but that looks pretty good. Grab one of those, put it there, and it looks like that's a pretty large lampshade, so I'm going to size it down a bit. Let's make it 12 inches by 12 inches. And the height is 24 inches. That's a nice size for a bedside table lamp. So I'm going to grab a copy of that. So Command C, Command V, and put that one over there on that nightstand. Now, if you need to change the height, like how high it is off the ground, that's what this elevation section is here. So it actually, when you do table lamps, it's pretty smart. It just grabs them and puts them right on top of the tables. But if you ever have an issue like that where it's not sitting on top of a table, or if you're trying to put a piece of art on the wall, which I'll show you in a second, you have to manually select how high you'd like it to be off the ground. So we'll work on that in just a second. But I want to show you a really cool little trick to see how everything's looking from a 3D perspective. So you might have noticed over here in the corner that there's actually a 3D mode, and it's really cool because it helps you see exactly what your room is looking like in more of a 3D perspective. So if you hit the Tab button on your keyboard, it's going to jump to this three-dimensional view. And I'm going to click and drag around, and you can see it from different angles. It's very, very cool and so quick. A lot of 3D modeling programs are very technical and hard to use, and Homestyler has just made it so easy, and I love how quick and you can quickly create a floor plan and then see what it's looking like in terms of scale. So you can see, ooh, that bedside table is a little tall for this bed. And so you can know in your head as you're picking out furniture that you need to make sure the scale looks good and match those two things up and look for things that are the right height. So that's just one example of why this 3D software is super awesome, and I love using it. And it can really be used by anybody. It's not just for designers. All right, so let's add a piece of wall art over here. And so I'm going to tab to get back to this two-dimensional overhead view. And we're going to go find a piece of art, and then we'll place it on this wall at the right spot. So catalog, let's go back over and find the art section. So there's an art and decor section. I'm just going to find a painting that I kind of like. And I want to do something horizontal since it's over the bed. And again, does not have to be exactly the right thing, but the goal is to just kind of get something that gives you an idea of what it could look like in that spot. That's a pretty painting. So I'll grab that and I'm going to put it over here on the wall. And then you'll notice that it basically disappears. So the elevation is not the right thing, and it actually might be sitting on the floor. So let's take a look in the 3D view. Oh, there it is, right there on the wall. Perfect. So sometimes it defaults to just sitting on the ground, and in that case, all you have to do is raise the elevation up, and you'll be good to go. So this is a great painting, but it's a little small for that size. So like if you're trying to source art and decide how big you want it to be over a piece of furniture or on a specific wall, this is a great way to picture exactly what the scale is going to look like. So I'm going to move this down just a tad. You can use these arrows here when you're in the 3D view. So you can move it side to side or up and down. And it just looks a little dinky above the bed. So I'm going to unlock those proportions, and I'm going to make it more of a, let's say 24 by 36. So 24, let's make it 36 wide. Here we go, that's better. And 24 inches high. All right, so I like the scale of that art a lot more. It's looking good. So that you can use that as a good rule of thumb as you're sourcing pieces for your space as well. You can kind of decide what size they should be, and then when you find things, you can decide if they're the right thing and if they match these different proportions. All right, so that's looking good. And then one other thing I want to show you is if the colors and styles you're seeing in here kind of bug you because they're not exactly the right things for your space, you can change this to be a black and white view, which I do a lot because I tend to get distracted by the different colors and patterns. So you're going to go up here and go to File, Preferences, and this is another place that's good to know about because you can change your wall height. So if you have 8-foot ceilings, for example, you can change that right here. And then you can go to Design Settings, and instead of having it be this background color of 2D view in color, you can change it to black and white and then save. Aha, much more neutral. So that's a great little trick to have in Homestyler if you want it to just be super plain black and white space plan with all the furniture and decor. So you can then see it in color here in the 3D view. All I did was hit tab to get to that view and then tab to get back out. And then if you want to check out a different version of the 3D, you can click the Roam, which is a slightly different version. It can kind of take you on like a tour around the room. So you use these arrows to get different parts of the room, and then you can click anywhere on this kind of plane and drag around to take a tour of the space. It's very cool. Drag up and down, and then you can pan right or pan left to see exactly what you need to see. So that's one of the basic tutorials for Homestyler, and I hope that that is helpful in creating your space plans for your rooms. If you have questions, you can always let me know. Contact me via my website or DM me through Instagram at Mix and Match Design Company. Have a great day.